Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I mentioned this is episode 54 of the Battleship Brawl Season 5 tournament. This episode we've got the Norge by FWS Kungen going up against the Prince of Persia by Harness. Go ahead and get right into this fight and see how things go. The Prince of Persia has been pretty dominant in all of its battles so far. But there have been a few ships that have been like, if it was just a little bit more durable, it could have done some serious work. Taking some minor damage from that first volley. It is very good at turning out from underneath enemy shells. But that's a big hole made, a couple of guns damaged. But here comes that first volley. It all comes down to how well the Norge weathers this storm. And so far, the answer is pretty well. I mean, it definitely took some damage, but it's in surprisingly good shape considering the rain it has fallen on it. Norge down to 86%. This gun looking a little... yeah, it's disabled. Those explosions eventually found a way in. Prince is at 98% health, quickly repairing. As it turns out from underneath another set of shots. Oh, that one's gonna land though. That's a nice solid hit to the superstructure. Unfortunately, superstructure's not all that important to be killing, so... Where are the propellers on the... It's got one left there. I think that's the only propeller it has left. If it loses that, it'll go dead in the water. Oh, looks like it repaired another one. That or I'm just blind and there were two there the whole time. And the Prince of Persia really likes shooting at the stern of enemy ships. Once the Prince runs out of materials, it doesn't keep its health up so well. Ooh, it just lost several guns there. By several, I mean two. Oh, lots of water skips. Pretty lucky for the Prince there. Like, now that the Prince is out of materials, the question is, can it kill its enemy before its enemy kills it? Because the Prince is not a sturdy ship. It has some durability via redundancy and heavy repairs, but once those repairs run out... Man, more volleys heading for the stern of the Norge. Now the Norge's HP isn't really going down all that fast anymore. The Prince is getting a rather large hole and line of its connecting pieces here made. All we need is like one shell to land in right in there, and a bunch to land in right in here. The Prince of Persia will break in half. And the shells are still falling on the stern of the Norge. How is this thing still moving? It must have some propellers somewhere in the hull. I mean, not that it really makes that big of a difference against the Prince. The Prince doesn't really care about your movement because the mortars will just guide in. Why the heck is the Norge shooting it? Those shells went way over. But the Prince has lost a significant amount of weaponry, probably about half its guns right now. And it feels like the HP gap is decreasing. And I'm really worried about the Prince breaking in two here. It is a definite possibility if this keeps up. This gun right here is just shooting way high, going over the target constantly. It might not have individual local weapon controllers, but I mean the barrels aren't that big of a difference. I don't know. Oh wow, the Norge is suddenly down to 65% health. Something major happened. Its health wasn't really going down there for a while, and then all of a sudden, well, it looks like maybe the Prince of Persia just, you know, stopped shooting at the stern. Oh, Norge is having some serious buoyancy issues now. Yeah, it looks like it not going to be able to quite be able to hold on. It did do some serious, respectable damage to the Prince, though. Oh, wait, it's leveling back out. I thought it was going to roll over and go down, but... yeah, this is seeming like a problem. I'm not sure that the Norge can turn anymore. I think it's lost all of its rudders. And this forward gun is, yeah, out of its firing arc. Norge is just kind of sailing away. Go, the Norge is too damaged. It did put up a an impressive fight though. Down to 81.9 for the Prince. But it may have just been that the Prince was very obsessed with shooting at the stern of the Norge, and it just wasn't taking a whole lot of damage because of that. You know, bad target selection could have played a part there, but that's why we have 3 rounds. It's the Alpha Strike. Like well, not Alpha Strike, but the very first volleys are an advantage the the Prince's opponents have, but the Prince at that range is just really good at turning out from underneath the enemy shells. So it negates that advantage quite well. And then by the time it starts taking solid hits, its own shells are falling. Man, Norge lost 12% HP in that very first volley. That's just, that is a heavy battering. Sounds like a whole bunch of the Prince's guns got hit there. A bunch of tiny crams firing, but they'll get repaired. Yeah, the Norge is taking a lot more damage this time. It's already down to 75%. That's gonna be a pretty solid hit. Didn't do as much damage as I was expecting, though. Not that we can see because of the frickin' smoke. Oh, Norge seems to have gone dead in the water. I mean, again, Prince doesn't really care if you're moving or stationary. It's all the same to it, but being stationary does tend to mean you're more likely to sink. Man, the Norge's bow got ripped up from that volley. Got a couple of hits landing on the center of the Prince there, but there's not really anything important in the center. As long as it doesn't get blown out in a line that, you know, makes part of the ship fall off, that centerpiece is not important. Oh, the bow of the Norge completely blown off. It's just kind of a burning wreck at this point. Prince is at 100% HP. It might score a perfect here. And Prince of Persia is celebrating early again. I mean, yeah, it's pretty clear that it's won at this point, but the battle isn't actually over yet. And there we go, that has a 2 damage Norge. Now the battle's over, now you can celebrate, Prince of Persia. Alright, that's it. That is the end of round 2. Get round 3 loaded in here. And get it underway. See, there the Prince of Persia goes again, dodging those initial volleys. Because out at this range, with its turning rate, it does a pretty good job of getting out from underneath enemy shells. But once it gets into legal engagement range, you know, once it moves in and everything, it stops being able to dodge as much. But, you know, it's kind of how it was meant to be. It's how the rules were, you know, what the rules had in mind when I wrote them. Oh man, the bow of the Norge just getting battered and bashed and just, ugh. Just practically blew it off. And oh, there's some propellers up on the front there. That's how the Norge kept moving before, when the stern was getting slammed apart. Oh, well, there goes the bow. The bow has been broken off of the Norge again. I mean, it does have propellers in the stern to keep it going, but now it's got this nice big flat face to cause drag. So it's not going to move the fastest. And that guy says, stop restarting Payday 2 already. Oh yeah, I forgot to record the HP for round 2, but it was 100 for the Prince, so I know that much. There we go, done. Not gonna be 100 this time though, because the Prince has run out of materials. Not that it matters. I think round 1's going to be the Norge's best round, and round 2 is going to be the Prince's best round, so... Well, I mean, if the Norge keeps this up, it might get a better round out of this one. It's so far doing a pretty decent job of doing consistent damage to the Prince. I think the Prince would actually be really weak against would actually be like air bursting fragmentation mortars. Can you imagine just a fragmentation shell coming down and just detonating and spewing fragments at those, what are they called? I forget what the dang block is called. But they're not particularly strong blocks. So getting widespread damage from an air-bursting frag would actually be quite deadly to the Prince, I think. And hey, look at that! The Norge actually managed to make round 3 its best round. But I don't think it's going to get a whole lot better than it is currently, because it basically has 0.7% HP left. Excuse me. Yeah, like one more shell. And there we go, the Norge is 2 damaged. Alright. That's 79.6. So there we go. Those are the scores for this round. 20.4 for the Norge, 200 for the Prince. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.